Wars games. And then, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on Star Wars Racer Revenge. And we're going to purchase this for $10. I do not want the PlayStation Plus, so I'm going to skip on that. And it looks like I might have enough in my wallet. So I'm going to confirm purchase here and give this just a second. And it looks like I did have enough. So now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to download this game. So I just hit the download button here. As you can see, it's starting to spin up. And this is a really tiny game. As you can see there, it's only 595 megabytes, which means we'll be playing in just a couple of seconds. Okay, now that has been downloaded and it is obviously runnable here, as we can go ahead and we can open up the game. Now there has been a couple of instructions in here that originally was like, go ahead and open it up and play with it for a second just so it creates some saved data. We're just going to go ahead and do that just in case here. So here we are. We have now got that $212 game running on a 12.70, which it sounds like something good might come out of this. So let's go ahead and get to our main menu here. And once we get the exploit added, we will be able to go into options here, and then we'll be able to come down to the Hall of Fame. And then from here, that is where it will load the exploit. So I'm going to go ahead and close back out of this application now. And what I want to do is I want to come back over here to settings. And again, just so you're all very well aware, right here is my 12.70, which is completely up to date at this moment. So once you get back into settings here, we're going to go to the Save Data and Game App setting. And so we're going to go to PlayStation 4 and then upload or delete from console storage. And so right there, you're going to see we've got a Star Wars Racer Revenge. So I'm going to put a check mark on that, and then I'm going to select the option to copy here. So we'll give this just a second, and we'll switch over to the computer because I'll tell you a little bit why I wanted to do that. Okay, so back over on my PC, I've gone ahead and plugged in that USB drive, and as you can see, I've got a PS4 folder here. And then I've got save data. And so this folder name right here is the reason that I wanted us to just export it, because I find it way much easier and safer to do it this way. So what we need to do here is we just need to go ahead and copy that string here. And I'm just going to copy mine into Notepad here because we're going to need this in just a second. Now again, going back over to Luac0re 2.0, with the B version, which just came out an hour ago, we're going to go down here and we are going to click on Luac0re 2.0b.zip and download that to our computer. Now, this is normally the part where I would tell you to go over to garlicsaves.com and create an account and create a profile. And so here I've got one and I just named it main and B crump. And here is the account ID, which again is that same thing we just copied over just a second ago, and you would hit add profile. But again, the site is currently having some problems, and right now there is no workers online. Now we could use Discord, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just switch over to a PlayStation 4 and get it done that way. But in the future, you should be able to come back to this side and it should be able to work. Okay, so at this point, I went ahead and extracted Luac0re 2.0b. And as you can see, there is 2 folders in here. And if we go ahead and we navigate into that account ID that we copied out earlier, you can see this one is CUSA 03474. And again, the reason I did that this way is not just to get that little number right up there, but also to know which version you're currently using. So I know this is the version that I'm going to want to copy over, this one right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and come back to Luac0re 2.0b extracted and grab this and drag and drop this and replace the files in the destination. So give that just a second there. And now at this point, it has been copied over. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and switch over to a jailbroken PlayStation 4 and resign those new files. Okay, so over on my PlayStation 4, I just jailbroke it with PlayStation view over here. And so now I'm going to go over into Apollo's save tool. And the first thing you want to do is make sure you've set up a user that matches that account ID. So if we look at mine right here, I currently have an account named mbcrimp that matches up with those numbers that we had a little bit earlier. Now, you can obviously create an account and you can come in here and specify your own if you haven't already. But now that I have the appropriate PlayStation account ID, I can go back over here and we can go to USB saves. And we can see right there is Star Wars Racer Revenge. So we're going to press X on that. I'm going to take the option here to apply changes and resign. And it does say that it is okay. And so from here, we can just go back to the view save details. And you can see right there, the account ID does match up. So if I take this back over to my 12.70 PlayStation 5, I should be able to import it. Let's go ahead and give that a shot now. Okay, so back over on the PlayStation 5 here. Again, I'm in the Save Data and Game App Settings, PlayStation 4, and we're going to go copy or delete from the USB drive. So right here, we can see that I have Star Wars Racer Revenge. So I'm going to put a check mark on that. And then we're going to go over here and we are going to copy. So right over here, you can see that it is 44.31 megabytes, which is again double the size over here of what we already had. So the base game was just 19.21. So that definitely ties to what was said in Kajina's tweet. So let's go ahead and press yes on this one. And now that has been copied over. So let's go ahead and press circle a couple of times. And again, let's get back over to our 12.70 machine. And so the moment of truth, we'll go ahead and we'll launch Star Wars Racer Revenge. We get our PlayStation 2 logo here, and we'll press start here. And we'll go down to options. And this time, if we come over to where it says Hall of Fame, this time it should load the exploits. So let's press X on that. And right there it is. Mounting save data for Lua transition USA version detected. Initializing JIT exploit. And there it is. PS5 12.70. Wow, this is so freaking cool to be witnessing this on a latest and greatest PlayStation 5 on 12.70. Oh my gosh, this is so cool to see. So there it is. Just like the other versions, we can see Luac0re 2.0 by Kajina, remote Lua loader, and we've got the PlayStation 5 and then 12.70, and now it is listening on this port. So over in the official project that we've been looking at, if you go to Luac0re, there is some payloads here. Looks like there is a hello world, which just says hello from remote Lua, and then there is another file here called shellcode test.lua. So let's go ahead and just download all of these. So let's go back up to the project and we're going to go to code and then download zip file. And so now we'll need to take note of the IP address and the port number there. And I'm just using Netcat GUI. Again, right there is the IP and the port number. And then we're going to go to payload file path. We're going to go browse. I'm going to go into main, and then I'm going to go into payloads. Now, I'm using an older version, so you have to do this, but if you're using 1.3, I don't think it does that. So I'm going to select the hello world.lua, and we're going to go ahead and inject that payload. So right there it is. It says executed successfully, hello from remote Lua. Now let's take that shellcode test.lua and give that one a shot as well. So I want to hit inject payload here. And there is what it says. It says executed successfully. So now there might be something coming for 12.70 users, but we're not exactly sure. Again, right now, this is only affecting up to 12.00 once Coopsploit gets added. Right now, it's just a user land execution. But if you do see that screen, well, the good news is that on your latest and greatest 12.70 PlayStation 5, you will be able to jailbreak. Now, again, from this, you probably want to come up here to Settings, and you want to go into System, and then you want to go into System Software Update and Settings, and make sure that all of these are turned completely off. So update, so especially this one right here, which is install update files automatically, you want to turn that off. Now, to really make this better, you should just go ahead and I would just disconnect from the internet. So I'd probably come back over here to network, and then again, I'm hooked in via LAN. I would just disconnect that LAN cable, or disconnect the wireless that you've currently got. In there, you can just sit on 12.70 until something comes out of this. But again, I wanted to show what this looked like because I'm very much interested in this. So anyways, if the video helped or if you liked it, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Michael